There is a version of you that has never begged for anything, never begged for attention, never begged for approval, never begged for a second chance. You have never seen this version, but he exists. He has been buried under years of compromise, years of shrinking yourself to fit into rooms that were never built for you, years of making yourself smaller so that smaller people could feel comfortable. That ends today. Most people think mental strength means not crying. They think it means being tough on the surface, talking loud, walking with a chest out. They are wrong. Real mental strength is invisible. It is the kind of strength that never announces itself. It is the kind that sits in a corner, says nothing, and when the storm comes, it is the last thing standing. The Stoics understood this. Marcus Aurelius did not sit on the throne of Rome because he was the loudest man in the empire. He sat there because he was the most governed. He ruled millions because he had first learned to rule himself. And that is what we are here to build. Not a persona, not a mask, a foundation. Something so deep inside you that no person, no failure, no circumstance can crack it. By the end of this, you will understand why reacting is losing, why being understood is overrated, and why the most powerful thing you can do in this lifetime is become a man that the world simply cannot move. Pay attention. This is not a pep talk. This is a blueprint. Think about the last time someone upset you. Someone said something. Someone ignored you. Someone disrespected your work. And what did you do? You reacted. You sent the message. You raised your voice. You replayed the moment for hours. And while you were busy reacting, they moved on. You handed them your energy on a silver platter, and they spent it without even noticing. The Stoics called this the discipline of assent. It means this: between what happens to you and what you do about it, there is a gap. Most people live in the reflex. They skip the gap entirely. Something happens, they react. Someone pushes, they fall. But the man who has trained himself to live inside that gap is untouchable. He sees the insult. He lets it arrive. He observes it the way you observe weather through a window. And then he decides. He decides whether it deserves his energy. Usually, it does not. This is not passivity. Do not confuse stillness with weakness. A dam is still. It is also holding back an ocean. When you stop reacting to every provocation, people become confused. They pushed you and nothing moved. They expected drama and got silence. They expected collapse and got composure. And they will try harder. They will escalate. They will dig for the button. And when they cannot find it, something shifts. They stop. Because you have communicated something without saying a single word. I am not governed by you. Start practicing this today. Someone criticizes your work. Do not defend it. Nod and walk away. Someone tries to start an argument. Do not engage. Someone mocks your ambition. Smile and go back to the building. Every time you refuse to react, you are depositing into an account called authority. You withdraw from that account every time you explode, every time you justify yourself, every time you let them see that they reached you. Guard the account. Protect the composure. The unmoved man is the most dangerous man because he has mastered the only battlefield that actually matters, the interior. Sun Tzu and the Stoics agreed on one thing that most men ignore entirely. Not every hill is worth dying on. In fact, most hills are not. The average man fights every battle. He argues about politics online. He defends himself to people who will never respect him. He spends energy correcting strangers, chasing people who left, and fixing relationships that were already broken at the foundation. He goes to war over everything and wins nothing. Discipline is not just about what you do. It is about what you refuse to do. Every fight you choose not to have is a fight you have won. Every argument you walk away from is an argument you survived. The weak man must win every confrontation because his ego is fragile. The strong man does not need to win confrontations because he has already won the only one that counts, the one with himself. This is the strategic mind. Before you enter any conflict, any confrontation, any conversation that might drain you, ask one question: what is the cost? Not the cost of losing, the cost of engaging at all. Because even when you win a pointless argument, you lose. You lost time, you lost energy, you lost focus. You handed someone rent-free space in your mind and let them redecorate. The disciplined man is a miser with his attention. He does not spend it on people or situations that offer no return. Marcus Aurelius ruled Rome during plague, during war, during betrayal from men he trusted. He did not have the luxury of a quiet life, but he famously chose his battles with surgical precision. He conserved his force for what mattered. He did not rage at every setback. He assessed it. He asked, "Can I change this? If yes, change it. If not, release it." That was his entire philosophy of conflict. Simple, devastating in its effectiveness. Apply it. Here is the uncomfortable truth that most self-improvement content will never tell you. You do not have a discipline problem. You have an identity problem. You keep trying to do disciplined things while still believing at your core that you are an undisciplined person. And so the actions never stick. You diet for 2 weeks, then you revert. You wake up early for 10 days, then you collapse. You grind for a month, and then you reward yourself into stagnation. This is not a failure of effort. This is a failure of self-concept. The Stoics taught that every man must ask himself, "Who am I?" Not who you wish you were, not who your parents told you to be, not the identity you perform on social media, but the operating system underneath all of it. Because that operating system is running every decision you make, often without your knowledge. And if that system is running on the belief that you are weak, inconsistent, and destined to fail, then no amount of motivation will override it. Motivation is an app. Identity is the operating system. And apps crash on a corrupt system. You must rebuild the identity first. Not by affirmations on a mirror, not by vision boards, but by evidence. Every small promise you make to yourself and keep is a vote for a new identity. You said you would wake up at 6. You woke up at 6. That is a vote for being someone who keeps commitments. You said you would not check your phone for the first hour of the day. You did not check it. Another vote. Over time, the votes accumulate, the evidence stacks, and one day, without ceremony, without announcement, without a dramatic moment, you simply are that person. The discipline is no longer a fight. It is just who you are. This is the architecture of identity. Build it brick by brick with small kept promises. Stop making grand vows you cannot sustain. Make tiny ones you cannot break. And keep them. Keep every one of them. Because every time you break a promise to yourself, even a small one, you are telling your subconscious, "I am not to be trusted." And when your own mind does not trust you, nothing works. You must become a man of your word, starting with the words you say to yourself in the dark, when no one is listening. We live in the age of confession. Everyone is explaining, justifying, oversharing, broadcasting. Every struggle becomes a post. Every setback becomes a story. Every step forward is announced before the foot even lands. And so nothing is sacred anymore. Nothing is protected. The plan is exposed before it is executed, and the world, with all of its doubt and skepticism and envy, crowds in and crushes it before it has a chance to grow. The Stoic and the strategist both know this. Silence is soil. Things grow in it. Big things. Ideas, plans, identities, power. They need the dark. They need the quiet. They need to be protected from the noise of other people's opinions while they are still fragile. You do not plant a seed and then dig it up every 3 days to show people how it is doing. You plant it, you water it, you protect it, and you wait. And one day, something remarkable emerges. Disappear. Not forever. Not dramatically. Just withdraw from the performance. Stop narrating your journey. Stop live streaming your becoming. Go quiet. Work. Return. Changed. You will not have to announce the change. They will see it in your face, in your posture, in the way you hold space in a room. They will ask, "What happened?" And you will smile and say nothing. Because the answer is not for them. The work was never for them. This silence is not arrogance, it is a strategy. When you speak less, what you say carries more weight. When you are rarely seen, your presence commands more attention. Scarcity is power. Make yourself rare, make your words rare, make your time rare, and watch what happens to the way the world treats you. You have been through things. I do not need to know what they are. You know what they are. The betrayal, the loss, the failure that followed you for years. The thing that happened when you were young is that you have never fully spoken out loud. The version of yourself you are ashamed of. The choices you cannot take back. You have been carrying all of it. Here is what the Stoics understood that modern culture refuses to accept. Suffering is not the enemy. Suffering is the curriculum. Every empire in history was built on a foundation of hardship. Every man you admire who has real depth, real gravitas, real presence, carries something heavy. The depth in his eyes is not from a comfortable life. It is from surviving what he did not think he could survive. And choosing, after surviving, to build something anyway. Your pain is not your prison, it is your forge. Every time something burned you, it was reshaping you. Every time the floor fell out, your legs got stronger, catching you. You are not behind because of what you have been through. You are prepared because of what you have been through. And the only way to betray that preparation is to waste the lessons. To go through the fire and come out the other side still choosing the same things that put you in it. Take everything that hurts you and audit it. What did it teach you? What did it harden? What did it clarify? The man who can find the curriculum in his own suffering becomes a student of his own life. And the student who studies himself cannot be defeated the same way twice. This is how you convert pain into power. Not by pretending it did not happen, not by burying it. By facing it, extracting the lesson, and walking forward with it, sharpened into a tool. Everything great is slow. The ocean carves the canyon not with fury, but with patience. The oak tree does not rush. The man who compounds discipline over years, over decades, becomes something the world has no category for. But we live in the age of instant results, instant feedback, instant validation. And so, most people quit before the compounding begins. They train for 3 months and see modest results and abandon it. They build for a year, and because they are not yet where they imagined, they pivot. They restart, they pivot again, and the restarting is exactly what keeps them average. The Stoic Marcus Aurelius did not write meditations to be published. He wrote it to himself every morning for years. He was reminding himself of the same principles over and over, knowing that discipline erodes without maintenance. He was playing the long game. He understood that the mind, like a garden, requires daily tending. You cannot weed it once and expect it to stay clean. You tend it every day, without drama, without expectation of applause, without needing anyone to notice. This is the final phase and the hardest one. Commit to the invisible years, the years when nothing looks like it is working. The years when the results have not arrived yet and the people around you are getting bored of watching you try. The years when doubt is loudest and evidence is thinnest. Those years are not wasted years. Those are foundation years, and foundations are what determine everything. A building without a foundation is a stage set, beautiful from the front, nothing behind it. You are not building a stage set. You are building something real. So go, work today. Not because someone is watching, not because the results are coming fast, not because you feel like it. Work because you said you would, because you have decided who you are. Because the man on the other side of the invisible years is waiting for you to show up for him every single day, without fail. The world is getting louder, the distractions are multiplying, the average is getting more average. And, in the middle of all of it, you have a choice. You can drift with the current and arrive wherever it takes you, Or you can cut against it, stroke by stroke, day by day, and arrive somewhere you chose. You are not building for their comprehension. You are building for your legacy. And legacies are not written in the years of comfort. They are written in the years of cold, quiet, relentless commitment. Begin. Comment below, I am playing the long game. And if you want more weapons for the mind, more philosophies they never taught you, subscribe, turn on the bell, and stay close. The next chapter is already waiting. The work starts now.